Welcome into the Dreamsphere. I'm your storyteller, Emily Goodwin. I've been thinking and pondering, as most dreamers do, chatting with my lovely cousin, friend, and bosom, Bethany, about what we can create going forward with this podcast. Last episode, I jumped right in with the Dream Detective. It was fun, but a little all over the place, which is the very definition of my brain. For this episode, I'm going to do a little house cleaning and give us a nice foundation of dream terminology. So for future episodes, we're all on the same page. How does that sound? Good, fantastic, excellent, cheerio, let's go. So I'm going to start with the stages of sleep. There are 4 stages of sleep. The first 3 stages are NREM sleep, and NREM stands for the non-rapid eye movement, and the last stage is REM sleep, which stands for rapid eye movement. Ver scientific names, if I do say so myself. They're enough to put one to sleep. All 4 stages are called a cycle, and we can have between 4 to 6 cycles per night, depending on how many hours of sleep you get. Stage 1 is, excuse me. This stage 1, oh my goodness. Whew, all right, here we go. Stage 1. Stage 1 only lasts a few minutes and is that feeling of slipping into unconsciousness. This threshold between conscious and unconscious can sometimes trigger intense hallucinations, thoughts, memories, and other dreamlike sensations called hypnagogia. Some really silly, creative, and conceptual ideas can come from this state if you're able to be aware of it before falling asleep. Stage 2. The second stage is light sleep that lasts about 25 minutes. Pretty uneventful for the most part. Stage 3. The third stage is Stage 3, the third stage, deep sleep. Lots of crazy shazazzle happens during deep sleep. Your body releases growth hormones that help your development when young and are in control of cell restoration, rejuvenation, and tissue repair all throughout your adult life. Deep sleep helps us with them wrinkles, baby! So make sure you're getting a lot of it. Your immune system is given an extra bow chicka wow during this stage, which makes sense why we want to sleep all the time when we're sick. Our body is saying, hey, go to bed, meat sack. It's my turn to drive this paddy wagon. Our glucose levels in the brain increase. This gives us the cognitive power and energy so we can problem solve and do maths. It is also an important stage for memory consolidation. Deep sleep helps transfer our short-term memory files into the long-term storage container. There are a few things that can happen during NREM sleep, which you might have heard of. The first is somnambulism, or sleepwalking. Sleepwalking can last anywhere from 1 minute to half an hour. A person can appear wide-eyed with a glazed expression, usually not very responsive if talked to. I'm sure I would be simply terrified if someone in my house was sleepwalking at night. Even worse than just looking like a zombie, sleepwalkers don't necessarily just walk. People have reported their friends and family doing all kinds of things in this state, from walking the dog to running up and down the stairs or dressing and undressing themselves. I tell you, I'd be pooping myself if I woke up at 3 a.m. and my friend was running up and down the stairs. Fuck that! Another strangely common occurrence for children, and not so common for adults at night, are night terrors. Night terrors are triggered in NREM sleep and can cause a person to scream out loud, sweat, breathe heavily, kick and thrash with their wide, staring eyes, pupils dilated, and can be very difficult to wake up. When they are awoken, sometimes they are extremely confused while still terrified and inconsolable. Most of the time, there is no memory of the night terror, and when waking in the morning, they usually don't remember the event happening at all, which in itself is terrifying. Some people get really chatty during their dream time. I've had full conversations with my boyfriend while being asleep. This is called somniloquy. It can range from mumbling and fumbling with words or having full dialogue, although the person who you're talking to realizes pretty quickly that what you're saying is complete nonsense. Okay, we've covered NREM, and now on to the last stage. Stage 4, REM, or rapid eye movement, is the final stage where sleep lasts about 10 minutes for the first cycle, and by the final cycle can last up to 60 minutes. 60 minutes of dream time. That's crazy. That's a full-length, personalized movie right in your sleep time. Amazing. During this sleep period, our bodies become temporarily paralyzed. Small twitches and jerks will happen, called myoclonic jerks. Why do our bodies become paralyzed? Well, it's to keep us from flipping and flopping around so we don't hurt ourselves or others. This stage of sleep is different from the others as our brain activity is extremely high and is almost identical to that of the waking state. It's called rapid eye movement as our eyeballs dart back and forth under our eyelids as if we are experiencing waking life. REM is just as important as deep sleep as it creates vital neural connections that improve our overall well-being, mental health, and mental perception. It enhances memory, helps stabilize our mood, and overall cognitive development. We know a little bit about what sleep does for us. However, the question of why we dream will probably never be answered, or at least not while I'm alive. So what is a dream really? It's a flippin' roller coaster ride sometimes. That's what it is. We can have 4 to 6 dreams a night, one for each sleep cycle we go through. Dreams come in all shapes and sizes and usually take the form of images, pictures, or thoughts. Sometimes you can have strictly auditory dreams or dreams that are purely made up of smells. This one is pretty rare, but it could happen. Dreams can be as mundane as eating breakfast in the morning or as bizarre as having tea on the moon with a porpoise during a blizzard. They can be terrifying, joyous, sad, boring, any emotion that you have in real life, you can have in your dreams. They can be vibrantly colored or black and white. They can be in any place, in any part of the world you can think of, with any people you can think of. They can, you get the point. They can literally be anything. Anything your big, beautiful brain can conjure up, you can dream of. You can even have prodromal dreams, which are dreams where your body is telling you the condition of your physical and mental state. People have had dreams predicting health issues, even as serious as cancer or neurodegenerative diseases. There's nocturnal emission dreams, which is a very fanciful way of saying sex dreams. False awakening dreams, where in the dream you've woken up or you believe you've woken up and go about your daily routine and suddenly you jerk awake for real. These types of dreams are freaky and extremely unnerving because you could be saying to yourself, am I awake right now? Who even knows? Definitely not me. And then, drumroll please, enter stage right, the lucid dream. This dream phenomena is one of the most well-studied states of sleep, and yet we still don't know jack about it. It's that moment during a dream where you actually become aware that you are dreaming. You knowingly wake up in your dream. It's just bonkers. There are a few different types of lucid dreaming. Sometimes you can become aware of yourself dreaming and continue to be an observer. Or you can go as far as to be able to control everything around you, from the clothes you are wearing to the location you're in, and of course the first thing everyone does when they experience a lucid dream is try and fly. All these topics are worthy of an episode of their own, and I will come back to lucid dreams in the future, but we must press on. Dreams are lumped together in a few categories. Usually all the positive emotional dreams are dreams, and the negative emotional dreams are Nightmares. Woohoo! I am a sucker for all things dark and mysterious, even if they do scare the pants off me. The majority of my dream experiences throughout my life have been nightmares. Nightmares so terrifying and real, I wake up screaming, sweating, crying, and extremely disturbed by the images in my head. And before you peg it on movies and TV shows, I didn't watch Jaws until I was in my late teens, okay? Nightmares are generally more common for children. I'm a big kid, so this checks out. Pregnancy can also be a trigger for nightmares due to the hormonal changes in the body. Certain medications can cause nightmares, drugs, alcohol, and other substances can be triggers as well. Even recovering from an illness or going through high periods of stress can be a factor in having a nightmare. Like dreams, we don't know exactly why we have nightmares. There are a lot of theories about why we do, and I'll for sure do an episode in the future about dream theories, because that just sounds fun and interesting, right? It does to me. Now that we've had an extremely eventful night going through the sleep cycles, repairing our bodies, storing memories, watching home videos, and being chased by the raccoon in our backyard, it's time to wake up. Whoa, and I thought sleeping was just, well, sleeping. Hypnopompia is the state where your mind begins to swim into consciousness after a full night's workout. But wait, we're not safe yet. You open your eyes. The room is dark. What is that? By the door. A shadow creeps out of the darkness. You try to move your body. Try to get away. As it glides towards you, you realize you are paralyzed. As it closes in on you, you try to scream, and suddenly you're awake, sweating and shaking. This lovely experience is called sleep paralysis. It's the moment between sleeping and waking when your body hasn't released you from self-paralysis. Your dreams become merged with waking life, and usually the dreamer has overwhelming fears of fear and anxiety. What a treat. Not all sleep paralysis experiences are scary, but if you have no control over your body, I think anyone would feel at least a little uncomfortable in that situation. Now that we are awake, wide-eyed, and terrified after that full night of activities, it's time to wrap it up. Thank you for listening to this episode on dream terminology. If any of these subjects got your curious brain to hoppin', toss me an email at intothedreamsphere@gmail.com. I'm still attempting to understand social media on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. If you find some cool topics yourself or fun posts around the interwebs, give me a ding-a-ling, ring-a-ting-bing. Okay, I need more sleep. See you later. Thanks for joining me, and next time I'll be here probably doing the same thing I did this week. Note: attached in the notes of each episode is a citation list of all the resources I used to create the meat and potatoes for your listening pleasure. Please go forth, research, learn, absorb all that fabulous information that is known about dreams. And then let's have a coffee and talk about it.